Anchoring Axis Mat Movement session. Welcome. So finding a relaxed standing position. Let your feet spread. Soften into the heels. Feel the toes. Raising the arms to about shoulder height. Let the elbows rest on imaginary beach balls. A sense of a tree, solid, stable, growing roots into the earth. Reaching out through branches. Gently letting them lower. Shifting your weight. So a sense of tree now in the wind. Arm branches. A strong wind moving both the trunk as well as branches. Bringing the arms to hang. More branches with the arms, a sense of a wide tree like an oak. And we're going to circle round. So taking a heel toe, a toe heel, turning, the mobility of a human to move the roots, a sense of the power of the tree. When you come full circle, let the arms come down, shifting weight backwards and forwards. And side to side. Allowing the arms again to find their oak tree sense. We will circle again, but in the opposite direction. Clear feet, heel toe, toe heel. When you've come full circle, letting the arms lower, Soften. And bringing weight now into the left leg. Right heel comes across to the ankle. The hands, palms together, up over the head. So a more linear sense of tree. Bringing the palms to the heart. Pushing down through the support foot. And then just letting that leg come up to the calf. Possibly the knee. And then back down again. Little weight shift. And then we'll come into the right leg. The left heel to ankle. The arms back up. Arms returning to the heart. Coming into a balance. And then back down. Softening through the knees. And here turning to the left. Center. Right. Center. Allowing the arms to hang. So the axis, the midline, sense of verticalness, like the trees. We're taking the left leg. It's coming forward a little and out on a diagonal. And we're going to bend that front leg, reach out and bring it all back to the midline. We're taking the weight now into this leg. The arms are coming out a little bit. We're taking the right leg off. If you're very wobbly, you could pop the toe back down. Just finding a small balance here. That comes down. We come in. We're bringing the heels together and the toes are turned out. The arms, palms together over the head. And we have a bend and lengthen. Feel that when you lengthen, you really draw up through the groin, through the midline, the axis. This time when you bend, we're going to arc it over to the left. Come back up. This time when you bend, arc to the right. Returning to parallel. And we'll find that on the other side. So the right leg is coming forward a little bit and out on a diagonal. Soften through the knees. And we have this reach out, draw it back to our midline, out, back. We're going to transfer the weight now into the right leg. It might be that you keep the left toe there. It might be that you take it off and find a small balance. We bring that back. The feet have the heels together and the toes turned out. The arms, palms together. We bend. We draw up the inside legs to the groin. We bend. We draw up. When we bend this time, we're going to arc to the right. Come back, and then we'll arc to the left. We'll take the hands up, bring them down to the heart, return to parallel. So our hands just sliding to the top of our shoulders. Circling, leading with the elbows. And then the other way. Soften the arms down. I'm turning to the side to make it easier to see the next couple of moves. We're lacing the fingers together, placing them on top of the crown of the head. We're taking one hand, placing it on the sacrum with the fingers pointing down towards the tail. Have a sense that you can grow right down from the tail, all the way down through the heels into the earth. And at the same time, you can grow out of the crown up to the sky. Releasing the hands, softening the knees, and trying to find now some wavy movement for the midline. So although this midline or axis has a verticality to it, lots of curves or waves that are found in the spine. Letting that movement settle into a still place. Shifting the pelvis forward, reaching the arms up, looking up, a sense of extension. Then we're going to roll down into a forward fold. From here, the pelvis comes forward, we roll up, and we're going to take hold of the right wrist above the head and draw it over to the left side. We'll come up, change hand to wrist, and come over the other side. Back to the center. Arms down, soften the knees. To the left first, a spinal twist, then to the right. And back. So flowing through again. I'm going to turn to the side. So the arms are going to come up. Pelvis is forwards a little bit to create a small back bend. I'm going to bend through the knees and roll on down. And this time I'm going to try and take hold of the elbows. Release the head. Let go of the elbows, bend the knees. See if you can now take the elbows again at the back of the leg. You might be able to then lengthen again. Soften the knees in a bend. Release, roll back up, let the pelvis come forwards. This time, taking hold of the left wrist, bringing it over to the right. Changing to the other side. Spinal twist to the right, then the left, and returning. We're taking our legs now a little wider. So our midline or axis is also the place where we connect with the energy centers known as chakras. So the lower one, the root, we're going to explore along with the others through the classic yoga opening positions. We're going to come into a warrior two. So we have that bend. We're going to take the arms shoulder height. We're going to look over the same arm as the bent leg. Then from here we're tipping into the triangle. And this will take us up to the sacral chakra. So you can look straight ahead, you can look up. We come out. We have both legs straight. We have the arms reaching. And then we're going to rotate towards the front leg. And you might stay up. You might take opposite hand to knee. You might stay there, or you might be able to slide down to the calf shin area or ankle. Or you may even be able to touch the floor. And then we bring the arm up for the reverse triangle. Softening out of this. And this reverse triangle connects with the solar plexus chakra. And we're going to do all of those three again on the other side. So we're going to swivel to the right. We bend that leg, bringing the arms, looking over, Then we tip into the triangle. You find how far you want your arm to reach down to. We come back up. Then we're turning. So back arm to opposite leg at the front. You might stay standing. You might tip to knee, to calf, ankle, or possibly even the floor for the reverse triangle. And then we soften again through knees. Find our way to face the direction we started and then come into the parallel position. So that's taken us 1, 2, 3 energy chakras. We're now going to go up, but for this, we need to actually come down lower on our mats. So I need to change my camera angle. And we're going to come down onto our hands and onto our knees. And for the heart, the hands are coming further forwards. We're going to then shift the weight into the hands. The pelvis might stay here, or it might drop even lower. It depends on the comfort in your lower back. And we come back. So from the heart to the throat, we're going to curl the toes under and come to a high kneeling position. I'm going to take the left arm. It's going to come up and over. It might touch the heel behind, it might not. The other arm comes up and we look to the ceiling. So the right arm comes down. We take a pause. And then the right arm will come up. It will circle back, possibly reach the heel while the other arm goes up. We look to the ceiling. This will open up the throat. And then we release out of that. We come down. We're going to bring the feet in front of us. I'm going to flex the feet. And then from here, we're going to come onto the palms and the lower arms. I'll just scoot a little bit here. So the fish, I'm going to let the neck lengthen. The forehead is directly up to the ceiling. The heart's lifted. To soften out, just let the heart come down. Push through the hands. Come back. And then the feet coming behind. Coming over, and for the root chakra, toes are curled under, weight down the shoulders through the arms, and up we come into the downward facing dog. So this brings the crown towards the earth without touching. The root reaches up to the sky. It's a kind of inversion. And then we soften that all the way back down and find a comfortable child position. So see what works for you. As you lie here in child, take an in-breath, pause, out-breath, pause. In-breath, pause, out-breath, pause. In-breath, pause, out-breath, pause. Coming out of this a little bit. We're now going to lift the pelvis. The palms and lower arms are down. We're going to let the forehead come down. And then with the tailbone, we're pushing so we roll onto the crown of the head, and then we're pulling the tailbone back. So we're rolling through the midline, the axis, however you want to call it, the fact that it's also the spine. The next time you're on the forehead, settle a moment, and then we'll come right up onto hands and knees again. From here, we're going to cat arc up on an in-breath, pause, and then out-breath, pause. In-breath, pause, out-breath, pause, in-breath, pause, out-breath, pause. Take a moment. And we have our hands a little bit further forward. We have our spinal ritual flow. So we did this movement a little bit earlier. We're going to come back into the camel, but this time we have the hands into the lower back and arc by bringing the pelvis forwards a little bit. We're coming back down. Toes are curled under, back up into that downward facing dog. Knees down. We're going to scoop the right arm through. So we come down onto the side of the head and the shoulder. The left arm then either just rests on the back, or it could come right round and touch the right front thigh. The top arm returns to push us up, slide out, and then it will be the left arm sliding through. The right arm then can hang out here, or it can come right round and connect with the left thigh. And then we release. To repeat the first 3 moves one more time. So the hands come forwards. We have that reach through. We come back, curl the toes under, support the lower back, pelvis forwards. And then the downward facing dog. Softening back out of here. And we have now the left leg. So the left leg is going to bend up. I'm going to try and bring the nose towards the knee. Then we're going to bend it up higher. It's coming back down. Toes are curled under both sides into the downward facing dog. The left leg again is either coming up a little or it can come up quite a bit. Then we're going to bring it down. You have a choice. You can bring it right down and then move the knee, or you can swing it through and come into the pigeon. So settle yourself here. Have the sense of this midline. We're going to just push through the hands, just to take the torso up a little bit. If that's uncomfortable, you could come down onto your lower arms and rest that way. So lower arms or lifting up. You might want to give a rock here. And then we slide that all back. Ready for the other side. So I will turn so that that is more visible. We have now the right leg. The knee comes in towards the nose. It's then going to come up, back down, curl toes under, downward facing dog. The right leg then, it might lift a little bit, it might go higher, and then it's going to come back down. Here, you either put the knee down and then move it forwards, or you swing it all the way through into the pigeon. Make yourself comfortable here. So you could be lifted in the position. You could come down to the lower arms, have a little rock or be still. And then coming out of this. Coming up to a high kneeling position. Just give your hands a shake out. Then we're bringing the hands to the left. The right leg comes through. We're letting the leg lengthen. And then we're bending it. We're now bringing the foot in a little bit, taking the hand to the other side. The back toes curl under. We take the knee off and we just pop the foot in. We straighten the front leg. We place the hands somewhere on that leg for a pyramid. Then we come back down. We find our low warrior one. So make any adjustments that you need. The arms come out to the side and back. Here they're going to lace together and lengthen back. They release. The left hand comes onto the thigh, the right arm comes up and over, and we look over the left shoulder. And then come back. The front leg lengthens and possibly the foot flexes. Bending out of there. Both hands to the left. The leg comes back. I will turn, ready for the other side. So this time, both hands to the right. The left leg comes through. And then we just try to lengthen that leg. We bring it back. We have a hand either side and we just bring the foot more to the center. The back toes curl under, the back knee comes up. We just pop the foot in, let it flatten, let the front leg lengthen. Then we have the hands somewhere on the leg, lengthen out through the spine for the pyramid. Soften back down. Then we come up to the low warrior one. The hands out to the side. Lace the fingers. Gently draw the shoulders and the arms back. Release the fingers. The right hand to the right back of thigh. Arc over. Looking over the right shoulder. Coming back. The front leg then lengthens again, but possibly with a flexed foot. That knee comes forward and bends. Both hands to the right. Let that leg slip back. And then we're coming to a sitting position. And we're going to have the left leg in front. So your knees might be up here or any kind of place on the way to the floor. We're taking the hands to the shoulders. We're leading again as we did before with the elbows. Back the other way. the arms unfurl. We're going to place them somewhere around the lower rib cage. So finding a position that feels good for your hands. We're taking an in breath. We're pausing, allowing an out breath, and pause again. In breath, out breath. In breath, out breath. Soften the arms, somewhat comfortable. And pushing the lower back behind and then bringing it through. So a few of these, similar to what we did on hands and knees, but without the breath focus. And then finding still place here. The left leg is still bent, but the foot comes down. We're taking the opposite arm, we're wrapping it round, the other arm's coming behind us, and we're finding a spinal twist. Turning back. Hands underneath the backs of the knees. We're taking the left leg and we're just letting it spring up. 1, 2, 3. That's about 90 degrees. The other leg, 1, 2, 3. We're going to bring the knees up, balance on the sitting bones. So the knees can be in parallel, they could be close together. See what feels comfortable for you. And then we're going to just take them up to that 90-degree angle. And soften that back. Okay. Let's take the hands out, make sure they're loose. Now we're coming back. So we're trying to get the knees in close to the body. We're doing a similar thing, but this time with a lengthened leg. So you spring it up in a lengthened position. 1, 2, and 3. The other side. 1, 2, 3. Bring the knees in. So again, you could be parallel or you can be very close together, whichever you've chosen. Try to balance and then slowly see if you can lengthen the legs up. Come back down. The left leg comes down, and this time it's the right one that's bent. The sole of the foot is there. And we're going to do a spinal twist this way. twisting back round. And this leg now going to come down in front of the other. You might find again that your knees are higher. I'm going to let the arms circle back. I'm going to let the arms circle forward. This time we're taking a hand to the heart, a hand to just under the navel area. We'll take an in-breath, pause, and out-breath. Pause. In-breath, out-breath. In-breath, out-breath. In-breath, out-breath. The arms this time are coming forward as we arc the lower back backwards. And then they'll come backwards as we bring that forwards. And we'll soften out of that. We're going to let now the legs lengthen out in front. So let the feet flex. We have our spinal ritual flow. Here we're going to slide on down. Then coming out of this, we have the hands behind to support. We lift up through. You can stay here, or if it's available, you can push through the hands, the heels, and lift up the pelvis. So basically moving from a flexion to an extension. We're coming back. We're going to take the left leg. We're going to bend it. It's going to come over. We're going to hug it and twist. We're coming back round. We're uncrossing that leg. It's going to lengthen. We're going to bend the other one. We're going to cross it and wrap round the other way. So feel the spine can grow up to the sky and down to the earth. Feel the rotation that's available to you in the spine. Turning back, uncrossing, hands behind, soles of the feet together. I'm going to keep the hands to the back. You might want to be still here, you might want to flutter. And then we're allowing the left leg to extend. I'm going to arc over. So you might find that the arm stays high. You might find that it comes lower. And then we use the hand as a kind of momentum to bring us back up. And we find that on the other side. So there's a lift up, arc over, arm can be high. It might even come lower. And then using this arm to come back up. We're going to bend the lengthened leg a little and reorganize ourselves. So I'm on the side because it's much easier for you to see. And we're starting with the right leg. It's going to cross over and we have a forward fold. We're then going to roll back up, uncross, but have the legs bent. From here, we're rolling back onto our lower arms and hands, and we're bringing the knees up, letting the legs lengthen, then they're bending back, lengthening again, they're bending. We're just taking the knees a little bit further away, feet parallel, tap, 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 tap. Bring them in again, back out. This time with the tapping, you've got one leg lengthened as well. When that one comes down, bring yourself up. This time, it will be the left leg that comes across. We're going to come over. Roll back up. Let the legs bend. We roll down onto those lower arms. The knees come in. And just see if the legs will come up, bend, up, bend. So they're going to come out a bit at that angle. Tap, 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 tap. We'll bring them in again a little bit, back out. This time, lengthen, 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 lengthen. And I'm going to roll back up. And we're going to finish with the soles of the feet together. We're in an extended butterfly. The arms can either stay over the top or they could thread underneath the lower legs. So find the one that suits you. And we're sliding out of that. We're going to let the legs lengthen a moment, a little wiggle, jiggle of the toes. And then come to bend the legs. Hands to the chins, draw in the abdominals, roll back a little bit and back. 1, 2, 3. Again, but with the arms off. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do it one more time, but there'll be 4. The arms are off, we're rolling back and we're taking one leg out. 1, and then it will be the other one. 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to take ourselves all the way down onto our mat. So making yourself comfortable here. We're going to start with our spinal ritual flow. So we have the knees, we press, the feet come down, we roll the head, chin to chest, slide back up and down. Pressing through the feet, up into the bridge, back down, arms out, shoulder height, knees to the right, head to the left, knees to the left and head to the right. In this position, bring the left hand just underneath the navel area. Bring the right hand to the small of the back. See if you can feel the connection, back to front, front to back. And then we're going to spinal twist the other way and reverse the hand. So the back hand comes out. It's going to slide to the front as the knees now come down to the right. The left hand to the back, and we look to the back. Feeling the connection, front to back. And then the knees come up, soles of the feet down. Soften the hands here. So the area of the reproductive organs or the space where they once were. Gentle little sucks of the abdominal muscles. So we're traveling up through now the organs that are connected with the axis of the body, or the midline of the body. So the reproductive organs in this area. As you suck the abdominals in, there's a little tilt that happens. Take a pause. The arms come down. And then if we travel up a little bit further, we have the kidneys either side of the midline. And we're going to suck in the abdominals, peel up the pelvis until you feel pressure into the kidneys and release. Let that movement ebb away. Bring the hands either one on top of the other or separate to the heart area. So the axis or midline passing through the heart. Taking an in-breath, allowing an out-breath. Taking an in-breath, allowing an out-breath. Taking an in-breath, allowing an out-breath. Releasing the hands from the heart. Letting the head now roll weightedly from side to side. Nice and slowly. The midline, the axis between the two brain hemispheres. The next time you travel through this midline, take a pause. Then allow the chin just to tuck down a bit and back. So you feel how the brain connects on top of the spinal cord. Relax the jaw by opening the mouth. Letting that ebb away. Taking the arms, they're coming up, over, out, and down. We're going to add this to a bridge. So making sure that the feet are kind of underneath the knees, about hip width apart. As you come up, the arms come up and over the head. As you come down, they're going to come out to the sides and down. So synchronizing. And then the next time that you roll down, stay there. From here, we're going to bring the knees close to the chest as we can. We're going to lengthen the legs over the head. Have a little pulse here. We're taking the left leg down. The right leg can pulse. It comes up a little bit, and then the left leg just crossing behind. And just let both legs circle here. You'll possibly feel this in the groin area, right at the lower midline of the torso. Circle the other way. Let that settle. We will uncross. So the right leg will come down The left leg is up, a little pulse here. And we let that one just come back a bit. The right leg will just come up behind. You have that crossed ankles again. And some circles. From one direction, we go into the other direction. Take a pause. I'm going to just wiggle and jiggle the feet a little bit. Let one down, let the other down, and let both knees roll you to the camera side. So we're taking the top arm. We're going to start down by the pubis bone, and we're just going to stroke up the midline here, all the way up. So that's the front, but it also goes to the back. And come right back, the neck, and you'll need to wiggle and jiggle a bit, see where you can reach. Follow the spine all the way down to the tailbone. Releasing there. And sliding up to the semi-sitting position. Having a little rock here. Pause. And then into your comfortable finishing sitting position. So legs can be long, they can be crossed, whatever feels good for you. Make yourself comfortable. Allow the spine, your midline, your axis to grow up and down. Relax everything around. Let shoulders just now come up to the ears and lower down. Up again. Lower down. Up again. And lower down. We're going to bring the hands to the heart. And like we did in standing, we're going to turn to the left and then to the right. And back centrally. Let your eyes close and tune into your bodily sensations. The places that feel comfortable, the places that feel less comfortable. Bringing awareness now to your skin, how it meets the surrounding air, how that feels for you. And then softly opening the eyes, letting in gradually the light, the colours, the shapes, the textures of your movement space. Thanking you all so very much. So take some time to bring yourself to a more everyday place. You might want some more movement or touch. And this brings us to the end of anchoring axis. Thank you all once again very much.